Hi guys! After we got a lot of comments and people asking a lot of questions internationally, I thought I'd just give you a quick tour around the car. I'm currently building an ES13 Silvia, and it's it's a ground up restoration. Got it from Japan. It was total rust bucket. So I'm just gonna run you through a couple of steps that we've done so far. It's supposed to be done by Easter for a big car expo here. So I guess we start underneath. Just lift the car up. I've been the whole underside has been sandblasted, and all seams have been sealed, epoxy coated, and then some paints. So, got a little flake under here. All the subframes, all the components, everything's been sandblasted and painted. It's stone chip epoxy first, and stone chip and seam seal. So, and then some clear coat on it. We're gonna run a 1JZ engine with a R154 tranny. It's gonna be painted before installation, but we made some new brackets to fit the S chassis. Also, since Nissan has the exhaust on the left side, so here's for the catalyst. I changed actually the exhaust. We're gonna run a 2.5 inch exhaust system on it. So we just made a new downpipe to get it smooth over to the other side. That way I don't have to mess around with the brake lines or fuel lines, so I can keep them intact. So basically that's what's been done underneath. It was totally rusted out, so I've put in some big beams to stiffen up the chassis, and it's gonna be all metal wide body. We started just last summer, just a quick basic rust fix, and just widened the rear quarters and on this front panel, and put it on air suspension just to drive it to a show, and got it registered. So well, it had been sitting for like 15 years, and it was basically, well, it got an oil change, some new plugs and stuff like that, and it ran smooth. It wasn't automatic. Now it's going to be a manual, so that's a change. I widened the rear fenders about 11 centimeters. It's just epoxy coated now. I'm going to do some small adjustments with a hammer, and I've cleared everything out inside the car. All electrical is gone, and epoxy coated everything inside. There were some small rust spots on the floor that we sandblasted and now epoxy coated. So since it's one of 603 cars made, this is a JDM car, so it's not like the 240SX that they made into convertibles in the States. So this is a true, genuine JDM car, straight out from Japan. So it's just started with some Bondo here, and it's not going to be that much. This is the worst spot, and this little magneto sticks good, so it will be perhaps a millimeter there in the end. So of course, I've always dreamt of having a car with Lambo doors, vertical doors. So we're part way. I can't open it and get it to clear the fender now because of the lift, but almost there, using the LSD from Germany hinges. So, and they work really well. But we can just lift off the hood. What's inside here? Okay, I'm making a carbon fiber cover that will have, this is not going to be a performance engine, it's going to be basically a stock, perhaps up the boost a little bit, but jet speed radiator, made a new beam between the front struts here, to get it a bit more forward and lower. So it will come down this much. I haven't drilled the holes for that yet. But this one I foamed up over the engine and shaped it, and took some pre-preg, carbon fiber pre-preg, and bagged it. Still just the first sanding and clear coat done, so it's just a rough piece yet. But we will have NeoPixel lights here with plexiglass, so you can see the ignition cover, and the tubing will just sneak out. So they're done. Have some welding left on the downpipe and the rest of the exhaust, but I'm gonna run D2 brakes, 8-pot disc brakes with 330 millimeter discs. So I guess that'll stop it. I got some, what is it that we're running? We're running the air suspension. Got it somewhere here. Fuck it. What are we running? Yeah.
Good question. K2? No, that's coilovers.
Yeah, I don't actually remember. These lights here, they're gonna be made into infinity lights. So we're gonna have infinity mirrors in this one. Also in the back here, we're gonna have the 3 amplifiers and the DSP, the sound processor, and also infinity lights in here in the trunk. We will have infinity lights in the doors, so we can go check out the subwoofer box that we made. Still got some wet sanding and polishing to be done, but it's basically MDF board, fiber board, and then mounted the rings and put some cloth on it and sprayed it with polyester, let it harden, and then put a few layers of fiberglass, and then finally a layer of carbon fiber, and then red candy on top of that. So it's about 10 layers of clear coats at the moment on this one. We're going to be running Dragster all through except for the DSP, which will be a different brand. I don't have my custom dash here. I just left it at the neighbors because I had some low spots, and they're doing a lot of stuff with epoxy, so they could fill it up for me when they have some leftovers. So, because I was out of epoxy. What else have we got? Well, we're going to be running everything in this car. We're going to have lots of NeoPixel lights everywhere. Yeah, this is the tubbing that I made. The under here, I'm going to make some new lids for this one with non-rotation sensitive, so you don't have it like this. But under here is going to be for washer fluid and the expansion for the coolant. So we will hide also the canister for power steering fluid. But everything will be a Microsoft Surface Pro 6 with a SSD disk, and everything like i5 processor will be managing everything. Hopefully we can get the Lambo doors to open electrically in time. That is our goal. We got the actuators for it, and well, hopefully we can get it done. It's a lot of wiring to do. All the lids and the trunk lids and everything will be electrically, well, what do you say, electrically the movements managed. So also the doors, and we're gonna make also for for the climate control, we're gonna make it fully digital. So we have that on the touch screen, so we can adjust the heat and, you know, move where we want the airflow and so on. I'm sorry I don't know all the vocabulary in English, but also from Germany we bought some killer stuff for cable casings or cable wire. Well, you know what it is. It's like these really nice, flexible, cool thingies. Yeah, so we got a ton of shitload of that, and we got amplifiers, we got everything for lighting and so on will be run by like computer cables. So we got some amplifiers, we got some speaker wiring, we got in there we got a roll of semi-transparent mirror film. Here is what we're gonna make the new harness for everything like lights and stuff. So all numbered cables, really nice and flexible. So cutting away all old electrical is really important because, you know, old corroded connectors and so on, it's just asking for trouble. And since we're adding so much new stuff, it will be almost impossible to implement in the old system. So what else? Well, I know that I got like 300 new followers today on Instagram, so that's cool. We're making a body kit for this one that Autocollect Storm in the States had designed. I saw the rendering on Instagram. I was like, oh fuck me, I want that kit. And I got in contact with Roy Cardozo there and asked him, okay, a collab here. I can make it a reality. He couldn't. Well, he probably can, but not in the time frame I needed it. So I said, okay, give me the 3D Max Studio files. I will make it a reality. So I am. So we'll just have a quick cut here while we move to another place in the building. See ya! Here we are. You probably, well, we're gonna add some footage from earlier today in Swedish, but we will cut out me speaking Swedish. We actually took his rendering, sliced it up in 10mm segments. The front bumper we sliced this way. The rest of the parts, we found out that after doing that, okay, it will be 2 big steps, so we will slice the other parts this way. It will be a lot more smaller steps. It will be easier to, less to fill. But I've done the first, we glued it together yesterday. We're missing the sides here, and we're missing the lower lip, which is over there. Still needs to be sanded. It's just got the polyester filler on it. But that will be under here. Well, I can put it on so you can get a better feel for where it's gonna be. So here you can see the segments, 10mm segments. And then we just put some polyester filler. It's just basically a glue. Yep. It will be something like this. Of course, there's a lot of extra here because they're quite big steps, so we just had to flow it. So for the upper part here, I did all the rough grinding earlier today, and now I just put a generous layer of softer bono on it. So this is gonna be the plug for making the mold. So in a few days this will be painted and polished and like mint. So then I can make the mold, and then a few days later, well, in a week and a half perhaps, I'll have the front bumper ready to mount on the car, because only 2 months left until Elmia, the Bilsport Performance Custom Motor Show, and I'm hope to get accepted. Well, since there's a lot of work left, they're perhaps a bit reluctant to give me a spot, I don't know. But my background on cars started, well, the Easter that's coming 4 years ago. Me and my youngest son went down and thought, okay, hey, what are we gonna do for Easter? Her mom was working, and we were like, okay, I always like cars. Let's go down to this big car show, and it's a 13-hour drive, and stayed at a hotel and had a really nice weekend. And I got totally hooked on the S chassis. I saw the Nissans, the cool Nissans, and it was like, oh. And I'm an old guy. Compared to most guys that are into JDM cars, but I was like, I want to build my own car. So last year I got a Nissan Silvia Varietta, an S15. It's a hardtop convertible, foldable hardtop, and I built that from scratch, basically in the same time frame as this one. I started this project full on now in November, and I did the same with the Varietta for the last show, and I got accepted in the last minute, and that was also full metal wide body, and I didn't do my own body kit. We didn't have as many lights and flashy thingies, but it was just a rolling chassis when I got it, no engine, no drivetrain at all, and I got it made all interior in carbon fiber, and made new leather. It was fun. My friends, one of them was behind the camera, and David who's over there, they said, okay, come on, let's put some NeoPixel lights in it and a touch screen. Okay, but now for this build, we've just been going batshit crazy, and it's like all crazy ideas we've decided to press play on. It's got, the sky's the limit. That's why it's called ADHD Garage. I make most of the work, and every now and then on the weekends the guys come in, film and help me out, and on the electric stuff, that's not my thing, I can tell you. So I'm more into metalwork, fiberglass, carbon fiber, and doing that. So let's check out the door panels. And here's the door panel. This one has not got carbon fiber on it yet, but just to show you how we've done it, we installed on spacers these wooden rings that I got milled from a guy down south, and we put some cloth on it and stretched it and glazed it basically with polyester, and well, same procedure as with a subwoofer box, but we also foam filled it to get it even more sturdy. And then on top of this, we're gonna have carbon fiber, same as on the subwoofer box. But the other door panel is in the oven baking right now, so we can go check that out so you can see what we've done with the carbon fiber. Well, here we got the door panel. It's almost cured. Fortunately, I was low on carbon fiber, so I had to make a junction here. But after sanding away this little here, it will be. We managed to get the pattern quite nice. So this will be fully cured tomorrow morning, and we can start sanding it down and put a few layers of clear coat on it. And it will look killer. And here we will have infinity lights, like this. Because we have sort of the same shape here, so we're gonna have something like that. So I think it'll look cool. What do you guys think? Okay, let's wrap this up. This was basically just a trial episode of me doing this stuff in English, and for my Swedish followers, I will have to ask you to forgive my Swinglish. It's not that great, but still. I got a lot of followers on Instagram. Well, not a lot of. We got like 1,300 today, so it's but 300 new today. So I think we're doing something right. If you want me to do more episode on what I'm doing with this car in English for my international perhaps followers, just you know, write a little message and subscribe to the channel so we can see that we got some international viewers. So until then, see you on Instagram and see you wherever, and have a banging mechanics weekend. We are gonna build, well, day and night on this car until it's done. So all the best. See ya.